that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And, Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
Cody Parkey now, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Bringing them out will be Kirk Cousins, born just outside of Chicago, played his college ball for the Spartans at Michigan State.
I do hear some mild criticism of Kirk Cousins and his play the last few seasons in Washington, mainly because the team was just 24-23-1. But I also saw a quarterback with an offensive line that essentially introduced itself to each other in the huddle before the first snap in Seattle against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Win that game with big plays late. This is a tough-minded, hard-nosed, gritty quarterback that tends to inspire a team to play better around him.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
Stephon Diggs had 8 touchdowns in the regular season. And then when it came to the postseason, a huge one in the playoffs. They'll be remembered forever, especially in Minnesota. Also helped to actually overshadow what a really nice year he had. Can catch the ball underneath and also take the top off of a defense with his speed.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bears take over. A second-year quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky, bringing out the Chicago Bears. In his rookie campaign, Trubisky, 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. But kind of like Jared Goff before him, CD, that sophomore leap has been made, has it not?
It certainly has, and give a lot of credit to Chicago Bears administration, to their general manager, bringing in Matt Nagy as the head coach, bringing in a new offensive coordinator to build around Mitchell Trubisky and elevate his game. He might even quadruple the number of touchdown passes from 2017 to 2018. And his interception rate, it has gone down. The Chicago Bears offense has a lot of promise moving forward.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. First carry now for Jordan Howard. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
On second down, here's Trubisky. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Minnesota's football here in just a second. And you think about the season that the Vikings have had, maybe not the kind of year that folks had envisioned for the Vikings. You thought maybe this could be an 11, 12, maybe even a 13-win season if all fell in place, but that has not been the case.
That is so true, because we thought with the acquisition of Kirk Cousins, that would take care of everything on offense. The defense, one of the best in the league in 2017. No reason to think that that wouldn't continue, and they've still been one of the top units out there. But if they make the playoffs and they play as they did against Miami in Week 15, especially on offense when they ran the ball for 198 yards, look out.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Taken in at the 11. The NFC North champion Chicago Bears, they take the field here again on offense. Their first division title this year since 2010. They clinched it back in Week 15 with that victory over Green Bay. Of course, Green Bay's had their number, especially in recent years. But what a season it's been for Chicago.
And when you think about their previous 4 years, 5-11, 6-10, 3-13, and 5-11 again in 2017. Now they'll have at least one home game in Soldier Field in January. This is a big turnaround. And I'd say go ahead and engrave the Coach of the Year award to Matt Nagy, their head coach. And it also will seal hirings going forward. Sean McVay with the Rams in 2017. Matt Nagy with the Bears in 2018. Look for those offensive guys to get the first crack at these jobs. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Let's go, let's go.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Where you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
They go play action with Trubisky. And that's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up third down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
On third down, Trubisky finding Gabriel complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Let's go, let's go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there. And now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality. And pound the rock.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's brought down. A Chicago 1st down to former Jag Allen Robinson on the catch from Trubisky. They go play action here on 1st down. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Anthony Barr. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Trubisky. Dancing to his left. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this belongs to the Vikings. in their locker room. They've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us. Looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in. And for them, it's every single snap. So it's not just a matter of getting to the quarterback and knocking the ball free. They're trying to read when that ball's going to come free. As soon as those hands separate to throw the ball, they want to be there and have a chance to knock it out.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Defensively, the starters for Chicago, and they feel like they've got a big-time disruptor in Leonard Floyd from Georgia.
And when the draft process began, there was a mixed bag of opinions about Leonard Floyd. But as time went on and he tested and people saw him work out and they saw the sheer athleticism, people realized they better move fast to get him, and the Bears did, moving up in the 1st round to number 9 to pluck him.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the 1st quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Here's Matt Weil now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He'll look to set up his blockers. And oh, he spins past him and into space. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Trubisky on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. play action. It's Trubisky, and he's going to go down again. Everson Griffin. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a fourth down. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. This will be fielded at the 17. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings making their way out, and let's take this time to talk about the Vikings Club Championship of Madden. It was held in mid-December, and your winner, I.B. Straffen, or is it I.B. Strafen? You've got the pronunciation guy.
I.B. Strafen.
Strafen. My bad, Mr. Strafen. Whichever you prefer, but defeating newcomer Jay Wolfman. He'll represent the Vikings in the league-wide club championship event in early February that has a $700,000 prize pool.
I just want you to know I heard from I.B. Strafen's people. It is not whichever you prefer. It's I.B. Strafen.
I guess I should probably correct it. It might be Jay Wolfman, not Wolfman, like I said. Here's Cousins. And it's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing, Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And now another one thrown incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And he goes out right around the 39. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They should have gotten more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
The Bears on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Cousins now to throw on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. A first down throw for Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On second down, Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game, the effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
The Vikings on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Cousins now. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Cousins now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. They go play action. Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot,
still first
you
down.
are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Second down, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So now facing a 3rd and 16 following back-to-back running plays that went in the wrong direction. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. They go with Howard to begin the drive. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Trubisky with the give to Howard. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Everson Griffin in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Sherrills. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Cousins now on second down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
First down. Here's Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. To throw is Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not at all. It came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to the ground, Cook. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Throw left side complete. It's Robinson. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Cousins now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week. Solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. A give to Howard. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They go counter with Howard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. The Bears on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. They only got a couple, but a couple is all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Would have been a long kick. It was prime fake field goal territory. They faked it. They got it.
So much for defense in this situation, because the natural play there is you go into what we call safe, meaning you don't really rush on that one. You almost concede. If they want to kick a long one like that and make it, so be it. You just don't give up the fake. Yet they did anyway. Poor execution on the defensive side.
He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it's a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense. You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 39. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. So it's our first offensive points of the game so far, and it gives us a very rare scoreline. We don't see this one often, 5-0.
Yeah, it's been sort of a weird one to this point, hasn't it? But hey, in this league, you take points any way you can get them.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is fielded at the goal line. A nice little juke. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trubisky will throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Well, partner, league-wide, I think we're set up for a wild month of January. It seems like this season, more than others, we've had a number of teams that you maybe say, hey, they're the Super Bowl favorites. Kind of the Rams early, then it was the Chiefs. Patriots kept winning, and the Saints, and now, heck, maybe even the Texans or the Bears could claim that moniker.
Yeah, it's going to make for a wild month of January. And you just wonder right now, are we missing a team or two that's just a little bit outside the playoff hunt? Could they get hot and be those teams you don't want to play and carry that momentum all the way to the Super Bowl? Yes, I'm looking at the Indianapolis Colts as one of those teams.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
The Bears on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 3. Again, it's Howard. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. 51 yards on the punt there. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Cousins on 1st down. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
A give. This is Cook. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run again on first down, Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Matt Wild now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They run with Howard. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. Incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The Bears on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Trubisky to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing just outside his own goal line. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Cousins now from the 50. Open man as Thielen is complete. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. They run the counter with Cook, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. 3rd and long for Cousins. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's Matt Weil now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Out of the gun, Trubisky got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing here, Trubisky. And this one is incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 3rd and 5. A little too much air under that one. That could have easily been 6 points.
Yeah, what kind of speed he has is almost impossible, we think, to actually overthrow him. But he did exactly that. I think he probably tried to get it out there maybe just a little bit too quickly.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Trubisky to throw. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Sherrills to return it. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. Oh, a little 360. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Cousins to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action now. Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
If you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Running with Howard. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They go with Howard again. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Bears on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. $47 on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. They go play action. Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A gain of 39 that time.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams and the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Now Cousins. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll throw again. Cousins. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Second effort there. He was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
So now here are the Vikings faced with a big 2-point conversion attempt. Now Cousins. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, and that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Onto the field now come the Bears. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Trubisky brings the Bears out 1st and 10 at the 20. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, this is Howard. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Early on in the broadcast, you talked about how he was one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 last year and that they needed to keep him under 100. He's well under 100.
And how about in our pregame meetings when we talked with them, they said that was going to be one of the top priorities for them in this one.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now it's Trubisky. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. That one good for 15 and a first. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. It's brought in by Kevin White. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. Trubisky finding White on a big play. 45 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
False start, offense.
Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Trubisky draw play, gives to Howard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough task here, though. 3rd and long. Now Howard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible, because right now he is wrecking things for them.
And Parkey's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Cousins now on second down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On play action, Cousins. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Getting a hand in there and knocking it away, Eddie Jackson.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Open man, his steal is complete. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On the ground, it's Cook. And an alley to runs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense. But a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll get him down right around the 16. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
That was second down run for Murray. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look to grab a late lead. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. They'll run for it. This is Murray. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So a big kick coming now for Dan Bailey. This for the lead in the final stages. And Bailey able to knock it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place, as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
He'll look to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings are going to win this football game. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Cousins is going to take this one down to a knee and end it. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.